Welcome back to Lunchtime Live. Let's get some Formula One news now from today. Esteban Ocon will leave Alpine at the end of the current season. You can see our reporter Craig Slater joins me now to discuss this. Craig, it hasn't been an easy week or so, has it, for Ocon, for Alpine as a team? Is this a result of anything that happened in Monaco?
I'm told that it has nothing to do with that. This would have happened anyway. It maybe has slightly expedited today's announcement, which is that Ocon is to leave the team at the end of the season. People will already know that he will be driving for the team in Canada this week. After some doubt being cast on that because of what happened in Monaco, which was a crash which Ocon took the blame for with his teammate Pierre Gasly. You can see there that Ocon cuts across Gasly, a very overambitious attempt at a manoeuvre, and gets punted up into the air. He had to retire his car. It could have taken both cars out of that race, and given the team only had 1 point coming into the race and they were in point-scoring positions, that was seen as beyond the pale by team boss Bruno Faman. They were childhood rivals. Maybe the chemistry hasn't been quite right between them, but that isn't the reason Ocon's leaving at the end of the year. The advice I'm being given is that the relationship between him and the team had come to a natural end. He'd been there for 5 years, which is a long time in Formula One terms. He'd won a race with the team at Hungary back in 2021, something I remember very well. I was there. But maybe the team aren't in the position he expects it to be at this point, and maybe the team need a bit of freshness and new direction from another driver coming in. And if you add that to the fact that he and Pierre Gasly are maybe on occasion rubbing up the wrong way, that's the reason for his departure at the end of the year. He has said, though, he will be fully committed until the end of the year, so I don't think there's any question about him leaving before the end of this season. OK, I mean, it's going to be an intriguing off-season, as ever, really, in the Formula One world coming up at the end of this season. Do you think he's got a chance of staying on the grid? It's difficult for Ocon. Now, he is managed to a degree by Toto Wolff, who's the team boss at Mercedes, but if Wolff wanted to put him in that seat replacing Lewis Hamilton, for example, that would already have happened. That's not going to happen. I've been doing my rounds and finding pretty much that most of the doors seem closed to Esteban Ocon at the moment. Is there a slight chance he might be a contender for the Audi seat? That team is currently Sauber. There's an offer on the table for Carlos Sainz to go there. He is currently caught between taking that option or maybe going to Williams, which over the past couple of weeks is really emerging as a serious contender for Sainz's signature. Sainz is the most prominent driver available out of contract at the end of this year. So what he does will allow the other teams to make their decisions, in effect, because it could bring either the Audi or the Williams seat into play. I don't believe he's got an option at Williams. Haas is maybe the likeliest opportunity for him. That's what I've been told, but he's only one of a number of drivers in contention for a seat there. My understanding is Oliver Bearman, the young British driver, is almost certainly going to be driving for them next year, and that would leave the other options for them, the likes of Valtteri Bottas, possibly Esteban Ocon. The incumbent driver at the moment is Kevin Magnussen. Maybe he has a slim possibility of staying there as well, but Haas at the moment is his likeliest chance to stay in F1. If it isn't to be that, it's almost certainly going to be World Endurance, which there is potential for him there to carry on his driving career.
Tough, isn't it? There's not that many drivers with a race win under their belts in the last 5 years
true.
or so. Does that mean then that we don't really know what Alpine will do as a team in terms of their next step as well? Do we have to wait and see? Yeah,
well, I mean, I think both their drivers began the season on a downbeat note because the car was overweight, which meant it was particularly slow. Maybe both of them, who are not young drivers anymore, were thinking, do I really need to be there for the entirety of this rebuilding process? What I do know is it will be a priority now for Alpine to sign up Pierre Gasly longer term, but I'm not expecting any kind of announcement along those lines today. Jack Doohan is their official reserve driver. He has got the potential to get into that seat. He will most likely maybe get some opportunities to practice during Grand Prix weekends between now and the end of the season to demonstrate he is a viable candidate. Mick Schumacher is on Alpine's books as well, but I don't think he is in pole position to get the drive for next year. But there is this little pool of drivers potentially available, including the likes of Valtteri Bottas, maybe even including Carlos Sainz, who drove for that team before. But if he decides neither the Williams nor the Audi opportunity is suitable for him and is still on the market towards the end of the year, that might be an opportunity for Alpine as well. So they're going to take their time over this, and that we're all really waiting to see what his next move is. We think Kimi Antonelli is going to get that Mercedes drive. Sergio Perez looks like he's going to re-sign for Red Bull. The big question is, does Sainz take the Audi opportunity or the Williams one? And based on that, I think the other spaces will fill up relatively quickly afterwards. But I'd say it's odds against, maybe, unfortunately, for Esteban Ocon, him keeping a drive in F1 next year, maybe Haas's best chance.
Interesting stuff. Craig, thank you as ever.